This is about a ritual that ran underground for over 10 good years and no one knows about it in Ibadan. This happened in Ibadan. In this forest, over 100 decaying bodies was found. 50 skulls, that's human head, was also discovered in this forest. Other human parts like hands and heads, legs, was also seen in this forest. And this was unknown to anybody in Ibadan for over 10 good years. This forest was reviewed by a motorcyclist who goes by the name Abba Kuda. This Abba Kuda is a motorcyclist, and he's the reason why this person was made, this place was made known. If not, this place could have been in operation up till this date. So thanks to this man named Abba Kuda. So let's see how this Abba Kuda made this place known, what happened, how he reviewed this place, and the necessary informations you need to know about this forest, about this ritual den that so many persons died in. According to this man, according to the story, Abba Kuda, who is a motorcyclist, received a call from a customer to come and pick him up and drop him somewhere. So as a normal business, he drove off to where the location where the person that called him gave him, pick up the person and drove off as well. So on their way, he received another call from a customer also calling him to come and pick him, but he was trying to explain to the person that he's doing business, that he's carrying another person, that he can't come now, he should exercise a little patience. But the second passenger was like, telling him to come is something urgent and thereabout. So he tried considering the person by explaining to the current customer that another person, that is in a haste or thereabout in danger is calling him, please can they go to pick the person up? So the person agreed and then told him to go and see the whereabouts of the person that is calling him. So they drove off to where the second person now, the second passenger, told them to come. On their reaching there, it happened that the location of the second person and the first person is not actually the same place. So they come to the agreement that they will first go and they drop the first person before coming to pick him, which they also accepted. So they drove off. When he dropped the first person, the first passenger now, it was getting late. So he was considering, going to the location of the second person, only him and thereabouts, because it's night now, he can't do such a thing, and that place is also very rural. So he considered going back home to pick his cousin to assist him to go and then deliver the second person, which his cousin accepted to assist him. So he drove off with the cousin to go and pick the second passenger. So on their way, this happened to be the last time anyone will set his eyes on Abba Kuda, the cousin, and the person, the second passenger that they went to render help to. So let's see what actually happened. So when it was getting very late, it became very obvious that Abba Kuda is missing, both him and his cousin. So people were like looking for him, reporting everywhere that Abba Kuda is not yet back. So in the morning, that the following morning, the news was everywhere that Abba Kuda is missing, both him and the cousin. So now when the first passenger, remember the first passenger knows Abba Kuda very well because he also called him to come and pick him, heard the news that Abba Kuda was missing. He was narrating how a man was calling Abba Kuda as of yesterday, telling him to come and pick him up, and he was there present because they drove back to meet the person when he promised the person that he would come back to pick him. So he narrated the incident of what happened that yesterday. So people were like panicking, even the fellow motorcyclists, the villagers were like, where is our brother? That type of thing, how this type of thing normally be. So to their greatest surprise, Abba Kuda called on phone. He was very distressed, on the phone. He sounded like someone, beaten mercilessly and thereabout. So they thought that Abba Kuda was kidnapped. But this is far more to be the case of kidnappers or thereabout. So on the phone, he was telling them that when they were going yesterday, a group of men attacked them in a bush, take them to where he doesn't know. So he was like telling them that he's alive, but he doesn't know where he is. So when the people heard about this news and know too well that he must be around that place where he went yesterday, that's around Onsoka area in Ibadan, so they decided to go looking for this Abba Kuda. So they arranged, both the motorcyclists, the family members, the villagers decided to go and look for Abba Kuda and the cousin. So the villagers, they have one spirit. So many persons came out, the motorcyclists, so they drove off to this Nsoka area in Ibadan, Nigeria, to look for Abba Kuda. So as they were going, looking for this man and the cousin, that's Abba Kuda, they came to a bridge and they saw something that looks like a motorcycle underneath the bridge. So they decided to go and see what is there. So on getting to that place, lo and behold, it was Abakuda's motorcycle lying helplessly there. So they searched around there and they couldn't see him. So they now decided, since they have seen Abakuda's motorcycle around this place, there is also might be a lock on them to find Abakuda around that area. So they decided to split themselves around that area, go inside the bush and the nearby houses to look for this man Abakuda. So they split themselves into groups. Then one particular group was, sighting when they were now searching for this Abakuda inside the bush and thereabout. So they spotted a house inside the bush and decided to go closer and see what is inside the house. As they were getting closer to the house, they heard a gunshot and they were surprised. So because of this gunshot, they moved closer because the group, they split, but they have some reasonable numbers in the groups. So they started to move closer and the gun was pointed at them and then it was shot directly on them. So because of this, they ran away. So when they ran away, they didn't go back to the house, but they went and informed the other groups and they alert them on what is happening. So the other group, they all decided and said, if at all they want to kill them, let them kill all of them, but they must find out what is in the house. So as they were trying to approach, they were hearing people crying, mourning, begging for food, thereabout, even begging for freedom. They were like, what is all this? And luckily for them, the men that were shooting at them ran away. They didn't shoot at them again because the group now was too much. Now they approached closer and these people were like, begging for food, even begging for freedom. So people were like, what is all this? What is happening here? Is this a cage or what? Why are people crying inside this place and people are also shooting at us? So because of this, they decided to break the house to see what is happening in that house. So as soon as they broke that house, lo and behold, they saw men and women, even children, tied on chain against the wall. People were tied, and these people that were tied on chain, they have been beaten, people are hungry, starved, they have been starved, lying helplessly on the floor, tied on chain and maltreated. Some have even malnourished. So these people quickly untied them. Some were like, dragging themselves out of the place, they ran away, some that have a little energy on them, while some that can't even stand up are still there. So at this point, the people now, we are like, what is all of these things? And before this thing, they have informed the police even before coming to search for Abakuda. So now the police arrived there and see for themselves that instead of looking for Abakuda, now they have found something greater than looking for someone that they came looking for. In that same compound as well, they noticed that there are also other rooms and also other buildings in that particular environment. So they decided to take on other rooms and other buildings there. To their greatest surprise, they now noticed that the rooms are divided accordingly. So once they open another room, they will see another thing, which includes, in a particular room, they saw over 100 decaying bodies, dead bodies. They opened another room, they saw over 50 skulls, human hairs. They opened another room, they saw body parts like hands and hairs. They opened another room, they saw the clothes of these people that have been kidnapped. So they were like, what is all of these things? They were surprised. People were like crying. Crowds were like confused, To their greatest surprise, immediately they were seeing all of these things. Abakuda called them on phone again. Now, when Abakuda called, he was like, please, I can hear footsteps on my head. It's like I am underground. I can hear footsteps. I don't know where I am. This place is very dark. But all I know now is that I can hear footsteps. The land is vibrating. So which means it means that I am underground. Please, if you people can dig and dig me out, because like this kidnapper, this ritualist, they put me underground. Please, people can put, but my battery is getting low. Please try to dig and dig me out. On hearing this, the people marveled. They were like, what did you say? And immediately Abakuda's phone went off. Hi, what can they do now? The people were like, some people ran home, go to the neighboring, houses, borrowed shovels, hoes, even some people with knife and thereabouts, and they started digging. They don't even know where to start digging and thereabouts, but they just started anywhere, they dig so many, dig so many holes and thereabouts, some people were digging with even knife and thereabouts, pouring water, making the ground to be soft, all of these things. But all these things they tried to do, they couldn't dig out Abakuda from the ground. So they tried calling him back again, and his phone is now switched off. So they decided to leave the rest for the government, either maybe to bring something to help them, a machinery to help them, to dig, because there must be underground in that place where Abakuda was calling from. So they left it for the government to do. So they concentrated on the people that they rescued, because many were rescued alive there, but they ran away, people that still have a little energy in them. But there are 7 who are helpless, who can't even talk, they have been distressed. So one of them there is Cecilia by name. The other one is Nephew, where the other one is Titi, the people that can talk. But they couldn't, question them as of then. What they did was to rush them to the hospital for proper treatment. So after these victims have received, the people that were rescued from there have received proper treatment, they now question them to know what actually happened there, because no one was caught. The founders of that place, the owner, the people working there, no person was caught. So they now question them. And one of them is Cecilia Obia Kena. He is 72 years of age as of the time this place was discovered. So, but this person couldn't talk. The story now I'm about to tell you about how this woman got into that place was told by her grandchildren, who came looking for her, because when this place was discovered, the news was everywhere in the newspapers and in the television. So the grandchildren spotted her and came to pick her. So it was narrated that in 2008, this woman got missing. Early in the morning, he woke up and was trying to go to a particular market. So to go to this market from his home, he will have to enter a taxi bus. So she entered a taxi bus and didn't return back again. So that's how this woman got into this ritualist. So which means one of the methods these ritualists used to get in their victims is through fake taxis. So they will just pretend as if they are going to somewhere like Owerri, Enugu, or thereabouts, and if you enter inside the bus, they will take you to that place. So from the confession of this man, now from the witness, this is one of the methods they use to lure people into that place. From what the second person said, who goes by the name Nafiu Shitu, he said that he was captured by people who claimed to be officials when he was doing his business. He is a hawker, according to him, who hawk roots and herbs for people to buy. So on his way, he said that some group of men who dress like official forcemen, gathered around him and they arrested him. When he asked what he did, as in what he has done, they replied that he has violated environmental law. So he couldn't say any other thing but followed them and entered inside a car, only to see himself in the forest. That's the ritualist then now, only to see himself there. So which means one of the methods by which these people lure people or lure persons into this place is by claiming to be an official forceman, and then arrested some people and then take them to that place. So this is one form through which they bring people inside that place. The third person, who goes by the name Titi, she's a woman. She narrated that one morning in the house, some people also claimed to be officials came to the house and arrested her. When she said, as in when she was like asking them what she has done, they replied that she's needed somewhere, that someone reported her somewhere. So because of that, she's needed. And these people dressed official like forcemen. So she obeyed them and followed them, entered inside the car, only to see herself in the bush, in the forest, where these atrocities happened. So another means through which these people bring people into this forest or into this ritualist den is to do what is called house arrest, to come to your house, claim to be police or thereabout, an official, arrest you and then bring you inside that area. So these three persons were evidently the people that were there, from what they said, on one of the three of the means by which they bring in people there. The first one, as mentioned earlier, is through fake taxi. The other one is through fake arrest on the way or on the road thereabout, on the streets, while the third one is also fake arrest in the house directly. So now the victims were being asked on how these people were killed, what normally happened there, the daily activities of these killers, of these ritualists or organ sellers, what they normally do, just to know how to trace them or thereabouts. But according to them, they narrated that what they normally see, what they only see is men or hefty men coming there, beating them, giving them food and thereabout. But they didn't see any person killing anybody in front of them. Rather, they only see him carrying dead bodies or dead parts of human being out from the main building, and then maybe they throw some away without head, they throw some away without hands, they throw some away without other body parts, but they throw them away. That's only what they normally see. But these men or women don't kill any person in front of them, but they do it at the back, bring only the dead body and throw them out. They normally see dead bodies being brought out from the house and then being thrown away. But according to reports, when you look around that vicinity, that area, you will see that there are so many other houses located there. There are even some companies, like bottling companies around that area. People normally cross that particular place and go to their farms. So people know what is happening around there, but no one was, reporting the incidents or thereabouts. So this raised a question mark on the people living around that area. So what the people did now was, to try to investigate on, to know whether if the people living around there are even the persons doing this thing, they can claim to be villagers or thereabout, build house around that place to safeguard that place as well. But it was also gathered that that place was, disguised. They disguised it to be a place where mad people are staying. A lunatic house where they keep mad people, but inside the house, they do some other things. So people living around that area see it as a place where mad people are being kept. Watch this video and see what one of the villagers have to say about because they interviewed him and then questioned him why is it that the villagers didn't report this incident. But he said by himself, as in through his mouth, I'm quoting him now, that place was seen, that they have even written so many petitions against that place, but it was seen as where mad persons are kept. So watch what he said. Just watch him live.
Writing petitions for years about this place, and we learned the response was they are taking care of mad people here. But if truly they are taking care of mad people here, why do we see dead bodies?
So they disguise the place to be a lunatic where they keep mad people, so that people will just see it as a place where mad persons are kept, and then they will know their mind will just go off it. So that's what they label that place to be. So the government, were involved in this. So they sent forensics, officers, the army, police to go and know what is happening there. But before the government could get to that place was demolished. That place was destroyed. They brought down the whole building and then destroyed everything. So because of this, the government could not do anything again. That place was demolished. So how it was demolished, but that place was destroyed. So both the forensics, the people, to know what really happened, the investigations about, they couldn't carry it on again because everything has been brought to an end. And currently, as I'm telling you now, that particular place is now a secondary school, and it has been it was used as a school. A school has been built in that place now, a secondary school and a boarding school for that matter. So I don't know if the person schooling there or the parents of these people schooling there knows about this story, though nothing is wrong with it or thereabout because it's just in the past. Anyway, so that's what really happened there. So that's the incident. You see what is happening in the world right now. So many things are happening. Please share this video so that others can be careful, especially to know the type of cars they enter, while traveling. If somebody wants to arrest you, make sure you know your rights. Make sure the person brings out a valid ID card and thereabout. Don't just follow someone sheepishly. Things are happening now. So share this video so that others will watch and be careful. Share on Facebook and other social medias. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye for now.